This bedtime recording offers a quiet visit to the countryside at night, arranged to ease the body and calm the mind. It begins with slow breathing and simple relaxation, then moves into steady descriptions of a lantern-lit lane, hedges, and a small cottage warmed by firelight. The tone stays even and unhurried, using plain language and gentle detail. Soft sounds, such as crickets and distant owls, mark the passing of evening. Light historical touches appear through village lamps, wooden doors, and a modest hearth, suggesting an older rhythm without instruction or analysis. Short reflective passages invite awareness of comfort, warmth, and safety. The pace gradually lowers with longer exhales and longer pauses between thoughts. The final section settles into a low, continuous quiet, allowing rest to gather naturally as night air cools and the room grows still. Chapter 1. Begin by settling into stillness and soft belly breaths. Begin by settling into stillness and allowing the body to notice a slower rhythm. The surface beneath is steady and firm, giving a clear sense of safety and support. The breath begins to move softly, flowing in and out through the belly, creating a gentle rise and fall. Each inhalation is calm, simple, and unhurried, and each exhalation eases out with quiet release. The chest remains light while the belly expands gently, forming a natural pattern that guides the mind away from the day and closer to rest. The room feels quiet, and the body begins to recognize this slower pace, accepting the signal that the time for activity has passed. The focus is no longer on tasks or noise, but only on the soft sensation of breathing in and breathing out, with each breath guiding a deeper stillness. Soften the shoulders and allow their weight to drop toward the bed. The muscles that may have been carrying the day's tension begin unclench. The jaw rests slightly parted, easing away from any tightness. The forehead becomes smooth, free of lines or effort. The eyes grow heavier without needing to close forcefully. They simply drift shut in their own time. The body responds to this gentle invitation, loosening one area after another. The arms and hands rest in a comfortable position without need to move. The legs are supported fully, no longer required to hold weight. The simple act of softening releases the last traces of effort, and the body now feels like it belongs to the night rather than to the day. Notice the bed beneath, steady and reliable, shaping itself to hold every part with ease. The warmth of the blankets surrounds the body, creating a balanced and stable temperature. There is no need to shift or adjust. Everything is in place for comfort. The weight of the head is carried by the pillow, the softness supporting without pressing back. The sensation of stillness spreads further, from the surface of the skin to the deeper muscles, to the bones, and into the very pace of thought. Nothing is required in this moment except allowing rest to unfold naturally. The sense of support is constant, and the body trusts this quiet foundation. Imagine a quiet lane beyond the window, leading through a countryside setting. The sky above holds the dim colors of dusk, with lanterns beginning to glow along the path. Each light shines with a soft golden tone, steady but not bright, just enough to mark the way. The lane itself is narrow and calm, with hedges along both sides, their leaves stirring gently in the evening air. The ground is smooth and easy beneath the feet, carrying forward in an unhurried direction. The scene is quiet and welcoming, a place where movement feels effortless and where no demand is made upon the traveler. The gentle evening setting is calm and steady, holding only what is needed for peace. Guide your pace along the hedges, noticing how the small movements of leaves create subtle sounds. Crickets begin their steady call, adding a soft rhythm to the evening air. A distant owl calls from somewhere hidden, its voice carrying across the open fields. The air is cool but not cold, carrying the faint scent of grass and earth. Each step is slow and without pressure, simply moving forward in quiet observation. The lanterns ahead continue to glow steadily, showing that the way remains open and clear. Nothing interrupts the calm of this path. No noise, no hurry, only the sounds of nature completing the evening chorus. Each detail adds to a sense of ease, guiding further into tranquility. Describe entering a cottage at the end of the lane. The door opens without effort, and inside there is a warm glow from a small fire. The air within feels calm and still, holding a natural warmth that embraces without heaviness. The furniture is simple and comfortable. A wooden chair by the hearth, a table holding a cup waiting to be filled. The walls carry the quiet scent of aged wood, familiar and steady. The room is not large, but it is filled with comfort. The fire gives off a gentle crackle, a soft sound that blends with the faint wind outside. The hush of the space creates safety, as though nothing from the outside world can disturb this moment. Sitting down in the chair, the body feels completely at ease, without expectation or effort, surrounded by stillness. Invite a quiet sense of gratitude for simple comforts. The steady warmth of the fire is one, the softness of the chair is another. The silence between sounds is yet another, allowing space to feel peace. Consider the small blessings of the day, a meal that nourished, a moment of calm, the ability to rest now without interruption. Gratitude does not need to be large or dramatic. It is found in these small, steady details that give comfort without asking anything in return. Each acknowledgement is like a gentle reminder that even the simplest parts of life carry value. The heart feels lighter as these quiet recognitions unfold, one by one. Allow each exhale to lengthen just slightly more than the inhale. Breathing out brings a gradual release, loosening thoughts and sending them away. The body responds by sinking further into the chair, into the bed, into the moment. Thoughts drift backward, no longer pressing forward with urgency. The rhythm of the breath continues, calm and steady, and the pace of the mind follows, becoming slower, quieter, and easier. The length of each exhale carries the weight of the day away, leaving only the soft space of rest behind. In this space, no decision is required, no analysis is necessary, only the gentle breathing remains, guiding the body deeper into stillness. Observe the night air beyond the cottage. The curtains shift softly once, then grow still again. The coolness of evening settles around the house, steady and calm. The sounds outside lessen as the creatures of the night settle into their rhythms. The owl's call becomes less frequent. The crickets continue their chorus, but even their sound grows softer with time. The world narrows into a simple scene, the faint light of the fire, the soft stillness of the room, the quiet presence of the countryside night. Nothing moves quickly, nothing changes sharply. The entire scene rests in harmony with rest itself, waiting only for sleep to take its natural place. Rest in this countryside, calm, letting the body surrender to the peace it has created. The steady breathing continues, easy and natural, flowing without effort. The warmth remains balanced, the silence deepens, and the body understands that the time for wakefulness is finished. Sleep approaches without resistance, as a natural continuation of the stillness already present. The bed continues to hold every part with stability and care. The night continues to surround with quiet air and gentle sounds. The mind recognizes the safety of this environment and chooses to release the final layer of alertness. The body drifts, the mind drifts, and sleep begins to arrive quietly, like the slow closing of a door, sealing out the day and leaving only rest. The breath continues its calm rhythm, slower now, almost merging with the quiet of the night. Muscles remain soft, without the faintest trace of tension. The bed beneath feels steady, reliable, and complete. The blankets provide warmth, without weight, surrounding gently, neither too heavy nor too light. The fire within the cottage dims gradually, its crackle fading into memory. The lanterns along the lane outside glow faintly, as though the night has absorbed their light. Crickets sing on, their steady sound blending into the background. The owl has found stillness, and the fields remain silent. The quiet lane, the hedges, the cottage, and the room all combine into one seamless image of calm countryside rest. Nothing more is asked, nothing more is needed. Only this soft state of being remains, guiding the body into the full depth of sleep. Time passes unnoticed here, as the body moves naturally into deeper rest. The breathing remains soft, the mind grows further from thought, and the countryside scene continues in silence. The room grows darker, the air cooler, the sounds lighter. Dreams begin to form quietly, gentle in their approach. The body receives them without effort, while the waking world fades fully away. The stillness is unbroken, the peace is steady, and sleep has taken its rightful place. Chapter 2. Soften your shoulders as jaw and forehead relax. Ease begins the moment the body gives itself permission to release. Shoulders that may have been held high throughout the day can now fall into a natural position, no longer carrying the invisible weight of tension. The arms are no longer required to reach, hold, or lift. They simply rest at the sides, supported by the surface beneath them. The chest feels more open as the shoulders drift down, and with this simple change, the breath moves more freely. The sense of openness spreads upward, allowing the neck to rest without strain. The jaw loosens gently, as if the muscles understand that speaking and chewing are finished for the day. The lips can touch lightly without effort, or separate slightly if that feels more comfortable. Behind the lips, the tongue rests quietly without pressure against the teeth. This small release sends a message through the entire face that it is safe to soften now. The forehead, which may have carried expressions of concentration, smooths into calmness. The skin feels unwrinkled and light, no longer pulled into shapes of focus or concern. This stillness in the forehead gives the eyes the signal that they too can rest, growing heavier with each moment. The entire upper body follows the signal of relaxation. Muscles that once engaged unconsciously now drift toward softness. The spine remains supported, needing no effort to hold the posture. The sensation of lightness spreads across the collarbones and down the arms, like a quiet reminder that nothing more is needed. Hands that once tapped, typed, or reached throughout the day now stay still. Each finger lies in place, quiet and calm. The palms may rest open or closed, but either way, they no longer grasp or cling. As the body continues to soften, the breath deepens naturally. The inhalation fills the belly with ease, while the exhalation carries out any leftover strain. With each cycle of breathing, another layer of the day's effort dissolves. Shoulders continue to sink. The jaw remains slack, the forehead stays smooth, the calm sensation grows steady. Like water settling after ripples fade, nothing interrupts this pattern now. The body follows the rhythm of comfort, and the mind begins to drift into alignment with it. Awareness of comfort grows clearer. The body notices the absence of tension. The quiet spaces between each breath are longer, and the stillness in those spaces feels steady. This quiet brings a sense of safety, as though the world outside cannot disturb what is forming within. The body recognizes this safety and settles further, releasing even the smallest traces of resistance. The release of tension allows focus to shift inward. Attention is no longer drawn to noise, demands, or responsibilities. It turns toward stillness. In this stillness, there is no effort to control thoughts. They come and go like soft shadows, but they hold no weight. The forehead stays smooth, preventing thought from tightening into expression. The jaw stays loose, preventing words from forming. The shoulders stay low, preventing reactions from rising. The body remains calm, and so the mind follows. This balance between mind and body creates a natural quiet. It is not forced silence, but a gentle pause. The breath continues its soft rhythm, and the body grows heavier into the support beneath it. The softness of the shoulders influences the rest of the torso, encouraging the chest and stomach to remain calm. The looseness of the jaw influences the throat, which now feels open and free of strain. The smoothness of the forehead influences the thoughts, which begin to lose their sharp edges and dissolve into quiet impressions. The longer this state continues, the deeper the rest becomes. The eyes sink further into stillness. The hands and feet grow warmer and heavier. The entire body begins to feel as though it belongs entirely to the night. The outside world grows distant, while the inner world grows calm. Breathing remains slow and natural, without need for attention, and this quiet cycle keeps guiding the body towards sleep. A new softness develops, not only in the body but also in emotion. The calmness in the shoulders and face gives permission for the heart to feel lighter. Without tension in the muscles, there is no barrier for feelings of peace to spread. A sense of ease begins to fill the space once occupied by strain. This ease is quiet, steady, and constant. It does not rise and fall quickly. It simply exists as the body remains in this softened state. With every passing minute, the stillness becomes more complete. The room feels quieter, the bed feels softer, the body feels heavier, the forehead is smooth, the jaw is loose, and the shoulders rest low. There is no need to adjust or move. The body has found its place for the night. This position will carry it into deep rest without effort. Thoughts that may try to return lose their strength in this calm. Without tension in the forehead, they cannot grip. Without tension in the jaw, they cannot speak. Without tension in the shoulders, they cannot rise. They simply fade away, leaving only the natural rhythm of breathing. That rhythm is enough to carry the body further into rest. The body and mind are now aligned with stillness. Each part of the body has received the signal of release. Each breath reinforces the calm. Each moment in this state prepares the body for deeper sleep. The softness in the shoulders, the jaw, and the forehead becomes a gateway to complete relaxation. The body does not resist. The mind does not resist. Both surrender to the quiet night. Soon, sleep arrives. It does not need to be chased. It simply fills the space created by release. The softened body invites sleep in naturally, without urgency. The calm breathing keeps it steady. The quiet mind accepts it. The body drifts. The mind drifts. The night continues without interruption. Sleep deepens as the body remains soft and the mind remains quiet. This calm will last as long as needed. The shoulders will stay low. The jaw will stay loose. The forehead will stay smooth. Breathing will remain calm. The body will remain supported. The night will carry the sleeper forward, deeper and deeper, until waking is far away. All that remains is softness, stillness, and sleep. Chapter 3. Notice the bed supporting you. Feel the steady warmth. Comfort surrounds the entire body. The moment awareness rests on the bed beneath, every point of contact is steady and reliable, creating a quiet assurance that there is no need to hold or support anything on your own. The mattress shapes itself to the natural curves, cradling without pressure, firm yet soft in exactly the right measure. The weight of the head is carried gently, and the pillow beneath adjusts without resistance, giving both security and ease. The blanket above wraps with balanced warmth, neither heavy nor light, but perfectly suited to encourage the body into deeper rest. The sense of steadiness builds with each passing moment. The spine releases into alignment, no longer straining to remain upright. The hips feel cushioned, the legs supported, and the feet sink without effort into their place. There is a simple harmony between body and surface, a meeting point where nothing feels out of place. The longer the attention lingers on this connection, the more the body accepts that it is completely cared for in this moment. The warmth is noticeable, spreading gently across the skin. It is not heat that overwhelms, but a subtle temperature that invites calm. The fabric of the blanket touches softly, almost unnoticed, except for the comfort it provides. Within this warmth, muscles loosen further, their natural state restored after the activity of the day. The deeper layers of the body begin to slow down, no longer needing to generate effort, allowing energy to shift toward renewal and rest. Every small detail becomes part of this comfort. The quiet weight of the blanket encourages stillness. The steadiness of the mattress reassures that there will be no interruption. Even the air in the room seems balanced, not too warm and not too cool, complementing the internal warmth created beneath the covers. This combination builds a sanctuary of rest, where no element disturbs the growing calm. Attention drifts toward the breath again, but now it feels different. Each inhale is welcomed by the softness of the bed. Each exhale sinks deeper into the support beneath. The rhythm of breathing merges with the stability of the mattress, as though both are in quiet cooperation. The chest rises gently, the belly expands with ease, and the body responds by settling more completely into the surface below. This steady environment allows the mind to withdraw from the day. Thoughts that once demanded attention begin to fade. As the bed continues to hold the body with reliability, the warmth reinforces a sense of safety, sending clear signals that this is the time to rest. Nothing external is needed now. The room is quiet, the body is supported, and the warmth remains constant. This simplicity allows the mind to surrender its patterns of movement, finding rest in the same way the body has. The longer this continues, the deeper the sense of belonging in this space grows. The bed does not shift or waver. It simply remains as a stable foundation. The warmth does not falter or fade. It remains steady throughout. These elements work together to create continuity, a soft environment where sleep can arrive naturally. The body trusts what it feels. The mind accepts the absence of tension. Together, they form the perfect conditions for stillness. Each breath becomes slower, lengthening the moments of quiet between inhale and exhale. These pauses are filled with calm, supported by the steadiness beneath. Muscles that had already softened now reach a deeper state of release. The shoulders sink even further. The arms are heavier but in the most comfortable way. The legs feel as though they belong entirely to the bed, inseparable from the support they rest upon. The warmth continues to soothe, reaching into places that once felt tight. The back, often carrying the day's weight, now spreads evenly into the mattress. The chest opens subtly with each inhale, and the heart rate follows the slower rhythm of breathing. There is no rush in the bloodstream, only a calm flow, aligning with the overall pace of the night. This internal harmony mirrors the external support, both working quietly together. Time feels less important in this setting. The body no longer counts minutes or measures tasks. Instead, it simply exists within the comfort of the bed. The warmth provides consistency, ensuring that nothing disturbs the growing stillness. The mind, noticing the absence of demand, withdraws even further from thought. Each passing moment feels longer, not because of weight, but because of depth. Rest deepens as awareness narrows to these simple sensations. The sense of support becomes more than physical. It grows into a recognition of safety. The bed is more than a surface. It is a place that allows complete surrender. The blanket is more than fabric. It is a signal that the body will remain warm, protected, and undisturbed. This recognition eases not only the muscles, but also the emotions, calming the inner world as much as the outer. breathing now feels automatic, requiring no attention. The body breathes because it knows how, and the bed holds because it is built to do so. These two constants continue without interruption, forming the backdrop for deeper rest. The air moves softly in and out, while the mattress remains unchanging beneath. Nothing competes for awareness. Everything works in quiet unity. As the minutes pass, sleep approaches quietly. It is not forced or sudden. It grows naturally from the steady warmth, the strong support, and the slower rhythm of the breath. The body, heavy and calm, welcomes this arrival without resistance. The mind, lighter and quieter, allows itself to drift away from the present moment. Thoughts fade like dim lights, while the steady warmth remains constant. The room is silent, the body is still, and the night holds everything in balance. The comfort of the bed is complete, covering every need, meeting every condition for rest. The warmth stays steady, neither fading nor increasing, simply remaining perfect for sleep. This environment does not change. It will remain through the night, carrying the body through cycles of rest without interruption. Soon, awareness will dissolve completely. The body will no longer notice the bed, though it will continue to be held. The warmth will continue to soothe, though the mind will be far in sleep. Breathing will remain soft, though consciousness will have released all focus. What remains is rest, deep and interrupted, born from the simple support and warmth that were present from the beginning. This is the gentle truth of this moment. Everything needed is already here. The bed is strong and steady. The warmth is calm and constant. The breath is slow and natural. The body is heavy and still. The mind is quiet and free. From these elements, sleep arrives, and the night unfolds in peace. Chapter 4. Imagine a quiet lane outside, lanterns glowing at dusk. The evening welcomes you with a scene of calm that feels timeless, a countryside lane where everything slows into stillness as lanterns begin to glow in the gentle dusk. The fading light of day softens across the sky, painting it with muted shades of blue and quiet streaks of rose and gold. The lane stretches ahead without urgency, a narrow path lined with low hedges that sway lightly in the evening air. The stones underfoot are cool and smooth, carrying the memory of the day's warmth, now slowly releasing it back into the night. Each step is unhurried, steady and grounding, moving you further away from the noise of daylight and closer into the quiet comfort of evening rest. The lanterns along the lane glow faintly at first, then brighten with a steady golden hue, casting gentle circles of light upon the ground. They are not harsh, only soft and consistent, marking the way forward with calm reassurance. The glow reflects against the hedges, painting the leaves with warm highlights, while deeper shadows collect in the corners. The air around is still and mild, cool enough to refresh, but not cold enough to disturb. There is no sense of rush, no traffic of thought, only the steady companionship of light and evening air. Each sound in this setting is natural and calming. From the hedges comes the faint chorus of crickets, their steady rhythm creating a backdrop that blends with the soft hum of night. Somewhere nearby, an owl releases a low call, echoing into the open fields before fading back into silence. A gentle breeze stirs once in a while, brushing against the leaves and carrying with it the earthy scent of grass and soil that has cooled under the dimming sky. The sounds do not compete with one another. They layer together to form a steady lull that calms the senses and supports a feeling of ease.
Walking further down the lane, the texture of the evening grows richer. The faint crunch beneath each step is slow and deliberate, grounding the body in the present moment. The lanterns create long shadows that stretch across the path, changing shape as you pass, yet never disturbing the quiet balance of the scene. Each flicker of light from the lantern flame sways slightly with the air, steady yet alive, guiding forward without demand. The stillness of the countryside amplifies the details of the moment, making every sound, every scent, every shift in the air feel soft and meaningful.
The body begins to respond to this environment, shoulders resting lower, arms loose at the sides, breathing slower and deeper. The softness of the light and the quiet of the lane signal that nothing more is required, but this is a place of release. The mind, once filled with activity, now mirrors the pace of the evening, slowing into alignment with the rhythm of dusk. There is nothing to solve here, nothing to prepare for, only the steady unfolding of a night that holds complete safety. As the lane continues, the lanterns mark each new stretch of the path. Their glow blends with the growing darkness, creating a balance of shadow and warmth that soothes the eyes and calms the nervous system. The further the walk carries, the quieter the surroundings seem to become, as though even the creatures of the night recognize the need for stillness. The open fields on either side feel vast, yet comforting, their boundaries softened by the dusk light, their presence reminding you of the quiet expanse of the natural world. The air grows cooler with each passing minute, settling the body into an even more restful state. The skin senses the freshness, and the lungs welcome each breath with ease. The temperature is neither sharp nor uncomfortable, but balanced in such a way that it supports a deeper calm. The warmth of the lantern light contrasts gently with the coolness of the air, creating a sensation of balance, warmth outside the skin, coolness upon it, both blending into a harmonious experience of comfort. Every detail along the lane invites reflection. The still branches of the hedges remind of stability. The flickering flames within the lanterns remind of continuity. The path beneath shows steadiness, each step firm and certain. This reflection is not forced, but simply observed, as the environment itself teaches stillness. The longer the walk continues, the lighter the mind feels, no longer bound by the weight of thought, but carried gently by the details of dusk. As the final lanterns glow in the distance, the lane begins to narrow into an even quieter stretch. The shadows deepen, but the light remains, enough to guide with ease. The body grows heavier, breathing slower, the mind drifting further from the activity of waking hours. The countryside lane has become not just a path to walk, but a passage into stillness, a place where rest feels inevitable and natural. The glow of the lanterns continues to hold steady, even as awareness begins to blur at the edges. The crickets sing on, their rhythm steady and unchanged. The air carries a last brush of coolness across the skin, a signal that the night has fully arrived. The path, the hedges, the fields, the lanterns, all remain constant, a gentle environment that waits patiently as the body drifts deeper toward sleep. The scene does not end, but simply fades, as the mind moves from gentle awareness into the comfort of dreams, carrying with it the memory of a quiet lane at dusk, where lanterns glowed and peace filled every detail. Chapter 5. Guide your pace along hedges. Hearing crickets and distant owls, the night opens with a rhythm that draws you into stillness, guiding each step along a quiet lane where tall hedges line both sides, and the air carries the calm of the countryside. The ground beneath your feet feels steady and cool, each movement unhurried, each stride flowing into the next with ease. The atmosphere around you is filled with subtle sounds, not overwhelming, but soft reminders that life in the evening continues at its own gentle pace. From the shadows of the hedges, the crickets begin their chorus. Their song is steady and continuous, a pattern of sound that blends seamlessly with the silence of the night. The tone is delicate, neither sharp nor startling, but a background melody that creates comfort. It is a sound that reassures, one that signals the world has settled into its nightly rhythm. The more attention rests on the crickets, the more the body relaxes, finding a natural tempo within their steady call. From the distance comes the occasional voice of an owl. Its sound is low and slow, stretching across the fields and returning as an echo that lingers in the still air. Each call feels spacious, as though it has traveled through the night just to remind you of the vastness around you. The owl is not rushed, not constant, but present enough to mark the passing of time in the calmest way. When its sound fades, the silence that follows feels even deeper, creating a balance between voice and quiet. The hedges along the path rise tall, their leaves shifting slightly when the air moves. In the dim light, their outlines form soft shapes against the darker sky. The texture of the leaves is unseen yet felt through sound, a faint brushing when a breeze passes through. The hedges seem to stand as quiet companions, forming a natural wall that guides the path forward, their presence steady and protective. The lane feels enclosed, yet open enough to reveal the expanse of the sky above. Looking upward, the sky is vast and calm. Stars begin to appear, one by one, their light steady, not flickering with urgency, but glowing softly in the distance. The contrast between the dark outlines of the hedges and the faint shimmer above creates a balance that settles the eyes. The more you notice the stars, the lighter the mind feels, as though their steady light has a way of drawing thought away from the ground and into quiet expanses of space. The pace along the path remains unhurried, each step matching the calm environment. There is no destination that matters, only the gentle act of walking, of existing in harmony with the surroundings. The sound of crickets continues, always there, forming a blanket of rhythm. The owl calls again, further now, its presence distant but comforting. The hedges remain steady, their tall forms framing the way ahead. The body grows heavier in its calmness, yet lighter in its release of effort. Breathing feels easy here. Each inhale takes in the cool night air, carrying a freshness that clears the chest. Each exhale leaves slowly, releasing not only the air but also the weight of the day. The rhythm of the breath joins the rhythm of the crickets, steady, predictable, and soothing. The body responds by loosening further. Shoulders drop naturally, arms swing gently with each step, and the legs move with less effort. The body is not working, it is gliding through the lane with ease. The scents of the night drift subtly into awareness. There is the faint presence of damp earth, cooled by the evening air. There is a hint of grass, still carrying traces of warmth from the sun that has already set. There is freshness from the hedges, a green note that blends with the air. These scents do not demand attention, but simply exist, creating a sense of place that roots the body in the calm of the countryside. As the walk continues, the world seems to quiet even more. The crickets remain, but their sound has become familiar, almost like silence shaped into rhythm. The owl calls less frequently now, allowing longer stretches of stillness. The hedges remain tall, their dark forms blending further into the night. The stars above shine more clearly, their light uninterrupted by any other glow. The longer this continues, the more the mind drifts, no longer focusing sharply on detail, but simply floating in the calm. The body grows heavier with each step, though not from effort, but from relaxation. The weight of the day has dissolved into the ground beneath, carried away by the rhythm of walking and the calm of the night. The feet continue forward without thought, as though they know the way. The air continues to cool, refreshing but steady, allowing the body to maintain its comfort. The night holds everything in place, requiring nothing, offering only peace. Time itself feels slower here. The cricket's rhythm never changes, steady as a clock that does not rush. The owl's calls come at intervals that stretch, giving the mind room to wander into stillness. The pace of walking matches this timeless rhythm, each step an echo of calm. There is no need to know how long the path is or where it leads. The journey itself is enough, and it is guided by the simple presence of hedges, crickets, owls, and stars. With each moment, the body sinks further into ease. Breathing remains deep and quiet. Muscles stay loose. The mind, carried by the softness of sound and rhythm, drifts further from activity. Thoughts that once pressed for attention no longer rise. They've been replaced by the constant hum of nature's night song, by the glow of distant stars, by the steady coolness of the evening air. The countryside lane has become a sanctuary where nothing is asked and everything is provided for rest. Eventually, the details of the lane blur as the body prepares for deeper stillness. The cricket's song merges into background quiet. The owl's call fades into memory. The hedges become darker, blending entirely into the night. The stars above remain steady and clear, but they no longer pull focus. They simply exist as part of the calm. The path continues forward, but it no longer requires steps. The body no longer needs to walk. It has already arrived at stillness. Here, in this countryside night, there is only calm. The sounds remain gentle. The air remains cool. The body remains supported by its own release. The mind rests in quiet alignment with the environment. Sleep approaches not as a sudden shift, but as a natural continuation of this walk along the lane, where hedges stood tall, crickets sang steadily, owls called from afar, and peace was present in every step. Chapter 6. Describe entering a cozy cottage, noticing firelight and gentle hush. There is a special calm that begins the moment you step through the wooden doorway of a countryside cottage, a calm that greets you with the warm glow of firelight and the quiet hush of a night already settled. The air inside feels different from the evening outside. It is warmer, softer, touched by the gentle scent of aged wood and faint smoke rising from the hearth. The door closes behind you with ease, leaving the coolness of the lane outside and offering the stillness of this simple room. The fire becomes the center of the space, its light moving slowly across the walls. In gentle flickers, the flames are not loud or forceful. They rise and fall in a steady rhythm, filling the room with a glow that feels steady and welcoming. Shadows stretch and shift across the floorboards, not in a way that startles, but in a pattern that soothes the eyes, as if the whole cottage breathes in unison with the fire. The crackle of wood burning is quiet and steady, blending with the silence, never breaking it, only adding warmth to the air. The furniture around you carries a sense of ease. A small table rests to one side, its surface clear except for a cup waiting to be used. A sturdy chair sits near the fire, its cushions inviting, its shape curved in such a way that it seems to be waiting for rest. The walls are lined with simple shelves, holding small objects that remind you this space is lived in but never crowded. Each detail is practical, nothing unnecessary, yet everything arranged to create comfort. As you move further inside, the sound of the outside world fades. The crickets that sang along the hedges are distant now, the owl's call barely audible. Instead, the cottage offers its own language, the soft pop of firewood, the creak of timber settling in the night, the faint brush of wind against the windows. These sounds are quiet, almost unnoticed, yet they fill the space with reassurance. They tell you the cottage is alive in its own way, yet calm enough to hold silence. The warmth in the air is steady and constant. It moves gently from the fireplace, touching the skin, spreading through the room until no corner is left untouched. It is a warmth that encourages the body to loosen further, to release the coolness carried in from outside. The deeper muscles soften, and the chest expands more freely with each breath. The warmth is not heavy. It wraps the body lightly, creating the perfect balance between safety and ease. Light from the fire reaches into the corners of the cottage, revealing small details that add to the feeling of welcome. A woven rug rests across the wooden floor, its patterns faded but familiar. A few books rest on a low shelf, their pages slightly worn, as though read often on quiet nights like this. A blanket rests across the arm of the chair, folded neatly, waiting to be used. These details, though simple, carry meaning. They show that this space is designed for rest, for calm, for the quiet hours when the day has ended. Breathing in this space feels different. Each inhale carries the scent of the fire, mingled with the faint fragrance of wood and fabric. Each exhale drifts into the air without resistance, disappearing into the warmth. The rhythm of breathing becomes slower, joining the calm flow of the room. There is no pressure here, no urgency, only the natural rise and fall of the body supported by this peaceful environment. Sitting near the fire, the chair embraces with gentle firmness, holding the body without pressing back. The cushion accepts the weight and allows the muscles to let go of effort. The blanket, pulled across the lap, adds another layer of warmth, soft and steady, grounding the body in comfort. The fire's light reflects in the eyes, steady and soft, guiding the mind into deeper quiet. The crackle of the wood becomes a background lullaby, steady enough to focus on, soft enough to disappear into silence. The room itself seems to breathe with you. The walls creak faintly, the fire shifts, the wind brushes outside, and then stillness returns. Each sound comes gently, without intrusion, forming a cycle of quiet activity and pause. The longer you sit here, the more the body aligns with this rhythm, understanding that nothing is required. This is a place for waiting, for sitting, for resting, not for doing. The longer the fire burns, the more the mind begins to drift. The flickers of light are steady, almost hypnotic, guiding the eyes into stillness. The warmth across the skin is constant, convincing the body that no movement is needed. Thoughts that tried to return are softened by the calm, dissolved by the slow crackle of the firewood. Even emotions grow quieter, replaced by the steady sense of safety this cottage provides. The gentle hush within these walls is deeper than silence. It is not the absence of sound, but the presence of calm. The cottage does not feel empty. It feels full of peace, full of warmth, full of rest. Sitting here is like being carried, supported by an environment that knows exactly how to comfort. Each minute in this space brings the body closer to surrender, and the mind closer to the drifting edge of sleep. The fire glows lower now, not fading, but settling into embers. The light is dimmer, the warmth softer, the crackle quieter. The chair remains steady, the blanket warm, the air still. The room is darker, but it feels even more peaceful in this dimness, as though the night has drawn its final curtain. Outside, the crickets still sing, faintly, but their sound is muffled by the walls. The owl calls once more, distant, its voice blending into the background of the night. Sleep approaches quietly, natural and unforced. The body supported by the chair, warmed by the fire, held by the blanket, is ready to let go. The mind, guided by the flicker of light and the hush of the cottage, is ready to release. Breathing remains slow, steady and soft, drifting into the rhythm of rest. The cottage holds everything in balance. The fire glows faintly. The air stays warm. The silence deepens, and the body surrenders. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to hold. There is only stillness, only peace, only sleep. And in this cozy countryside room, with its firelight and gentle hush, rest arrives naturally, carrying the body and mind into the depth of night. Chapter 7. Invite a simple gratitude list for today's small comforts. Gratitude has the power to settle the heart into deep calm, and when the mind turns toward the small comforts of the day, the body begins to soften in ways that words can hardly describe. This is not about grand achievements or life-changing moments, but about noticing the quiet blessings that often go unseen. Think of the first breath you took this morning, the way air filled the lungs and gave energy to rise from sleep. That breath was a gift, as was every one that followed, carrying you through tasks, conversations, and hours until this gentle night arrived. Consider the simple comfort of food today. Perhaps there was a warm drink in the morning, its aroma waking the senses, its warmth spreading through the chest. Maybe there was a meal that nourished the body, not elaborate, but enough to give strength. Each bite was a reminder that the body was cared for, that sustenance was available, and that the day provided what was needed. Even the smallest taste, a piece of fruit, a sip of water, was part of this quiet chain of nourishment that supported every moment until now. Think of the shelter that held you today, the roof that kept out wind, rain, or sun, the walls that surrounded you, giving privacy and protection, the floor beneath your feet, steady and reliable, carrying your weight without complaint. This shelter was present in every hour, even when you did not think of it, holding you through the shifting hours of light and dark. Tonight, it continues to provide safety, giving a space where sleep can arrive without fear of disturbance. Recall the comfort of the body itself. Perhaps there was movement that felt easy, muscles that carried you from one place to another, hands that performed countless small actions without conscious thought. The body may not have been perfect today, but it served with loyalty, responding to every request. Even now, as it rests, it continues its quiet work, the heart beating, the lungs breathing, the blood flowing. Each function is steady and unbroken, supporting rest without asking for acknowledgement. This, too, is a comfort worth recognizing. Think of the air around you, invisible yet constant. It was there each time you stepped outside, brushing against the skin, carrying scents and sensations that reminded you of the living world. Whether it was cool, warm, or still, it connected you to the earth. Tonight, the air continues its presence, entering the lungs, refreshing the body, leaving without resistance. Its quiet rhythm is part of your rhythm, and it continues with patience through the night. Remember any moments of ease that appeared today. Even if brief, perhaps a pause between tasks, when silence filled the space, perhaps a glance out of a window, when light caught the eyes in just the right way. Maybe there was laughter, or a smile, or a kind word exchanged. These moments, though small, formed pockets of peace in the day, reminders that even in the ordinary, comfort can be found. Each of these moments added to the fabric of the day, stitching together a sense of calm that now leads into rest. Think of the warmth you feel now. The bed beneath supports fully. The blanket covers gently. The pillow holds the head without strain. These comforts are simple but profound. They are the result of choices, of care, of preparation for this night. They signal to the body that everything is in place for rest. They ask nothing in return, only allowing you to receive their presence. This is something to be grateful for, something to recognize as a blessing not everyone has, but something you can feel deeply right now. Reflect on the quiet around you, the absence of chaos, the hush that holds the room steady. This silence is a gift. It allows the mind to slow, the body to let go, and sleep to arrive. It carries no demand. It simply exists as a blanket of peace. In this silence, you are free from noise, free from distraction, free to rest. Gratitude for quiet becomes gratitude for rest itself, for the opportunity to lay still without interruption. Notice the people who touched your day. Maybe there was a friend, a family member, a stranger who held a door, offered a smile, or spoke a kind word. These small gestures create connection, reminding you that life is shared. Even if your day was quiet, even if no conversation stood out, there is still the presence of others who exist alongside you, who share the same air, the same world, the same night sky. Gratitude for connection softens the heart, reminding you that you are not alone, even in silence. Finally, feel gratitude for this moment itself, a moment where nothing is asked of you, no tasks to complete, no expectations to meet, only the quiet rhythm of breath, the warmth of the bed, the steady support of the night. This moment is enough. It holds everything needed: safety, warmth, quiet, and a chance to rest. Gratitude for now is gratitude for life, for presence, for the ability to experience peace. As the list forms in your heart: breath, food, shelter, body, air, moments of ease, warmth, quiet, connection, presence, you begin to feel lighter. Each acknowledgement clears space within, releasing tension, dissolving worry. Gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is already here, and in this shift, rest deepens. The body grows heavier against the bed, the breath slows further, and the mind drifts closer to sleep. Gratitude does not ask for anything more, it simply invites you to notice. And in noticing, you find that the day has already given enough. Now, as the night settles fully, allow this list to linger in the background. You do not need to repeat it or hold it tightly. It will remain quietly in the heart, continuing its gentle work as sleep approaches. Each item is a soft weight, grounding you in comfort. Each thought of gratitude is like a step deeper into stillness. The body rests, the mind drifts, and sleep, supported by gratitude, arrives naturally, carrying you into the depth of night. Chapter 8. Allow each exhale to lengthen, thoughts loosening and drifting back. There is a deep release that begins when the breath takes on a slower rhythm, when each exhale grows longer and softer, creating more space for the body and mind to let go. With every breath leaving the lungs, tension begins to dissolve, as though the body understands it no longer needs to hold on to the tightness of the day. The inhale arrives naturally, steady and calm, filling the chest and belly with ease, but it is the exhale that carries the greatest power, stretching out gently, inviting the body to sink deeper into stillness. Each long breath out feels like a quiet wave passing through, emptying more than air. It clears out weight, it clears out thought, it clears out the pressure that has collected within. The more the exhale lengthens, the quieter the mind becomes. Thoughts that once seemed important lose their urgency, softening at the edges, drifting backward like fading sounds. They do not need to be pushed away. They simply release on their own as the breath continues to flow. The body responds with gratitude to this slower rhythm. The shoulders drop further with every exhale. The arms feel heavier, anchored by the surface beneath. The jaw remains loose, and the forehead smooth, supported by this natural rhythm of letting go. The lungs do not struggle. They follow a pattern that feels effortless, breathing in with just enough fullness, breathing out with greater release. This balance continues steadily, creating harmony between body and mind. With each cycle of breath, awareness expands into the silence of the room. The exhale softens the space, stretching out the moments between thoughts until they fade altogether. What remains is a vast quiet, a gentle field where the mind can rest. The inhale brings calmness inward. The exhale lets go of everything that is not needed. This exchange repeats over and over, slow and soothing, as if the body was designed only for this purpose, to breathe, to soften, to rest. Time itself begins to change. The length of the exhale draws out the sense of moments, slowing them down, stretching them like the space between gentle ripples on water. There is no need to track minutes or hours. There is only this breath, this exhale, this release. The body understands it is nighttime, that rest is the only task. The mind drifts further away from responsibility, further away from structure, into a space where nothing matters except the flow of breathing. The longer the exhale becomes, the more completely the body surrenders to its support. The bed feels firmer, steadier, carrying the weight of every limb without demand. The blanket feels warmer, its touch steady across the skin, holding the body in balanced comfort. The air in the room feels lighter, cooler against the face, creating contrast with the warmth beneath. Each exhale deepens this awareness, allowing the body to melt further into its resting place. Thoughts continue to drift back, as though they are carried on a slow current that moves away from the present. A memory may appear, but it does not stay. It dissolves in the length of the exhale. An idea may form, but it is not grasped. It loosens and fades into the quiet. The mind no longer clings to details. It no longer pushes forward. It simply observes the gentle movement of breath, until even observation grows softer and begins to dissolve. The body begins to feel heavier in a pleasant way. Each exhale adds weight, drawing muscles deeper into relaxation. The legs sink more firmly into the mattress. The arms lie still, comfortable and complete. The head rests fully on the pillow, no longer adjusting, no longer seeking a better position. The exhale has done its work, releasing every urge to move. The body is still, heavy, and safe. The mind feels lighter at the same time. Each exhale carries away another layer of thought, another distraction, another worry. There is no effort required to silence the mind. It silences itself in the steady rhythm of breathing. The longer the exhale, the longer the spaces of quiet. These spaces begin to merge until thought itself becomes occasional, faint, almost unnoticed. In its place comes a deep calm, a spacious quiet that invites rest. The rhythm of breath now matches the rhythm of the night. Inhale, a calm filling. Exhale, a long release. Inhale, steady presence. Exhale, deeper surrender. This pattern does not need to be controlled. It continues on its own, carrying the body further from the waking world. The exhale becomes the bridge between wakefulness and sleep, a gentle path that leads naturally into the quiet of dreams. The stillness grows more complete. The sounds of the room are faint. The body is warm and heavy. The mind is soft and light. Each exhale carries the last traces of tension away until nothing remains but the rhythm itself. The bed feels like part of the body, and the blanket feels like part of the skin. There is no separation between self and space, only a continuous field of comfort. Sleep draws closer with each exhale, arriving not as a sudden shift, but as a natural continuation of the release already taking place. The breath continues, longer out than in, steady and smooth, guiding deeper into stillness. The body has no resistance left, and the mind has no words left. Everything has been softened by this rhythm. Everything is prepared for rest. The exhale is now the quietest lullaby, repeating without sound, carrying the body into the night. The mind drifts backward, thoughts loosen fully, awareness fades. What remains is calm, supported by breath, supported by stillness, supported by night. Sleep comes quietly, completely, inevitably born from the length of each exhale, born from the release of all that has passed. Chapter 9. Observe night air cooling, curtains still, room growing quieter. There is a moment in the night when the air itself begins to change, when the warmth of the day has fully faded and the coolness of evening deepens into quiet comfort. The air brushes gently against the skin, carrying with it a freshness that calms the body and signals that the world is preparing for deeper rest. Each breath in feels lighter, each breath out easier, as though the atmosphere itself is designed to guide you further into stillness. This cooling sensation does not disturb but soothes, reminding you that the time for activity has passed and the body can now settle without demand. The curtains at the window hang motionless, resting quietly in place. Their fabric no longer stirs with passing breezes, no longer shifts with movement from outside. They stand as silent guardians of the night, closing off the outside world while keeping the calm of the room intact. Their stillness reflects the overall atmosphere, the sense that everything is slowing down, that nothing needs to move quickly, that every part of the environment is aligned with the rhythm of rest. The longer you observe their silence, the deeper the quiet within the body grows, as if their stillness is mirrored in your own state. The room itself feels calmer as the minutes pass. Sounds that may have been present earlier fade into distance, replaced by a hush that holds steady. The faint hum of the outside world recedes. The occasional creak of wood settles into silence. Even the smallest noises seem to soften, blending into the background until they are barely noticed. What remains is an atmosphere of deep quiet, where every sense is invited to slow, where nothing pulls attention outward, where everything draws inward toward rest. The cooling air continues to move, subtly, not with gusts or breezes, but with a light freshness that lingers in the space. It carries away the heaviness of the day, clearing the room of stale warmth and replacing it with clarity. The lungs welcome this freshness, receiving it with each inhale, and the body responds by relaxing further. Muscles soften, the skin feels calm, and the temperature settles into balance. It is the kind of air that encourages deep sleep, steady and refreshing without effort. In this quiet, the body becomes more aware of its surroundings. The weight of the blanket feels secure, holding warmth in just the right way against the coolness outside. The mattress continues to support, without shifting. The pillow cradles the head, keeping it steady. Each detail adds to the sense of safety. Nothing needs to change. Nothing is missing. The environment is complete, perfectly balanced between cool air and warm comfort, between still curtains and steady support. The stillness of the curtains marks the absence of movement, the end of the day's flow. They no longer respond to the outside because the outside has quieted too. The wind has slowed, the world has dimmed, and the room has become its own sanctuary. This lack of motion brings reassurance. It is a sign that nothing will disturb, that nothing will enter unexpectedly, that peace will remain. With each passing moment, the confidence in this stillness grows, allowing the body to let go of vigilance and the mind to surrender its watchfulness. The quiet of the room expands as time drifts onward. The longer the body rests here, the more the silence deepens. Even the breath becomes part of it, blending seamlessly with the surrounding stillness. The inhale is soft, the exhale long, each one merging into the quiet until they feel less like actions and more like parts of the night itself. The rhythm of breathing becomes indistinguishable from the rhythm of silence, creating unity between body and room. The cooling air moves against the face, gentle and refreshing, yet it does not chill. It balances with the warmth of the blanket, creating a perfect harmony. The skin senses both temperatures, and together they create a deep comfort that holds the body in place. This balance reinforces the readiness for sleep, as the body feels neither too warm nor too cool. but precisely aligned with the needs of rest. It is a natural equilibrium, the kind that requires no adjustment, only acceptance. The mind begins to reflect the room's atmosphere. Just as the curtains are still, thoughts grow still. Just as the air is cool, emotions settle into calm. Just as the sounds have faded, mental noise also dissolves. Each exhale clears a little more space. Each inhale brings in more calm, and the mind releases its grip on the day. The cool air soothes the mental landscape, carrying away scattered ideas and leaving only quiet. Time continues to soften in this space. Minutes no longer matter, as there is no need to count them. The room grows quieter, the body grows heavier, and the mind grows lighter. Everything is moving in the same direction, toward deeper rest, toward the threshold of sleep. The cooling air, the still curtains, and the silent room all combine to create the perfect transition. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to wait for. Everything is already here, in this balance of cool air, still fabric, and quiet space. The final layers of wakefulness begin to release. The body no longer shifts or adjusts. It has found the position it will keep through the night. The breath no longer feels like an effort, but like a soft background rhythm that continues on its own. The mind no longer clings to thought, but drifts in and out of awareness, no longer caring for clarity, only surrender. The silence of the room is complete now, not empty, but full of rest. Sleep draws nearer, natural and unforced. It comes not as a surprise, but as the expected continuation of this state. The cool air remains constant. The curtains stay still. The room holds its quiet. These elements do not change. They simply remain, supporting the body as it moves into deeper stages of rest. The mind follows, no longer questioning, no longer resisting, but accepting. The transition is smooth, steady, inevitable. Soon, awareness itself will dissolve, just as the sounds of the outside world dissolved earlier. The body will continue breathing. The room will remain quiet. The night air will stay cool. The curtains will hang in stillness. But the conscious mind will no longer observe these things. It will have surrendered fully to sleep, leaving the body to rest in peace. This is the gift of the night, the natural rhythm of the world, the way everything leads toward restoration. Chapter 10. Rest in this calm countryside feeling, and let sleep arrive. Peace becomes complete when the countryside night settles fully around you, and everything you feel, hear, and sense encourages the body to surrender to sleep. The stillness outside has deepened, the gentle lights have dimmed, and the quiet presence of the land holds you as though it was made for this moment of rest. The day has passed entirely, and now nothing is left to do, nowhere left to go, only the comfort of lying still, supported by softness and wrapped in calm. The air in the room is balanced, carrying a faint coolness that refreshes without disturbing. The warmth of the blanket holds steady, keeping the body secure and complete. Each part of you rests exactly where it belongs, without needing to move, without needing to shift. The countryside calm enters through every sense, the faint hum of night beyond the window, the steady silence within the walls, the softness of the surface beneath. The body accepts these signals easily, responding by loosening further, heavy and safe in its place. Breath continues to flow, but it feels quieter now, almost blending into the silence around you. The inhale is easy, bringing in fresh air. The exhale is long, carrying away the last traces of thought. Each cycle of breathing is softer than the last, as though the body is practicing for the rhythm of sleep. The pace is slow, gentle, and steady, perfectly aligned with the calm countryside feeling that surrounds you. Nothing interrupts, nothing hurries, nothing demands attention. The quiet in the room is complete. but not empty. It feels full of peace, filled with the steady presence of rest itself. The countryside hush is different from silence in the city. It is natural, alive, yet deeply still. Beyond the walls, fields stretch into darkness, and the night sky continues to shine faintly above them. Even without seeing, you can sense the open space, the vastness that holds the cottage, the lane, the hedges, the air. This vastness makes everything inside feel smaller, safer, more contained, as though the room itself is tucked into the heart of stillness. The body grows heavier, each limb pressing into the bed with no resistance. Muscles no longer twitch or adjust. They have finished their work for the day. The spine lies in complete alignment, fully supported. The head rests comfortably on the pillow, neither tilting nor straining, simply lying in a natural position. The entire body is at rest, no part separate from the whole, each area in agreement that it is time to surrender. The mind, too, follows this agreement. Thoughts that tried to return earlier are softer now, scattered too far to reach. They no longer form full sentences, no longer carry weight. They are fragments, drifting backward into the distance. The longer you remain in this calm countryside stillness, the less those thoughts matter. They belong to the day, and the day is finished. Now there is only the night, and the night holds you with quiet steadiness. The countryside has always been a place of rhythm. Day turns to evening, evening turns to night, and each part of nature follows its own cycle. The crickets continue their song, steady and even. The owl calls occasionally, its voice fading further away. The trees stand unmoving, the hedges hold their place, the fields lie still. This rhythm of the countryside reflects in the body, reminding it of its own natural cycle, waking, moving, slowing, resting. Now the cycle has reached its quietest part, the part where sleep arrives. Time begins to lose shape in this calm. Minutes stretch longer, not because they drag, but because they are filled with stillness. Each breath feels like its own complete moment, long enough to hold peace, soft enough to allow release. The body no longer measures how long it has been lying here. The mind no longer asks what will come next. Both exist only in this quiet, both surrender to the pace of night. The countryside, calm, brings with it a feeling of safety. There is no noise of busy streets, no interruptions of sudden sound. There is only the hush of nature and the steady silence of the room. The curtains remain still, the air remains cool, the fire from earlier glows faintly in memory, its warmth still lingering, though the flames have dimmed. Everything feels secure, contained, protected by the night. The body senses this safety and relaxes deeper, knowing it can let go completely. Breath continues, softer now, almost unnoticed. The exhale carries longer pauses, drifting further into silence. The inhale fills gently, but without force, only as much as the body needs. The chest rises and falls so quietly that even the awareness of it begins to fade. Soon, the breath will continue on its own, without any observation. The body will remain supported, and the mind will drift into dreams. The stillness of the countryside night becomes the stillness within you. The fields outside rest, the stars above shine faintly, the hedges remain unmoving, and your body mirrors all of it. Nothing shifts, nothing struggles, nothing presses for attention. The world has quieted, and so have you. This connection between inner and outer calm is complete, seamless, unbroken. Sleep begins to arrive naturally, not sudden, not forced, but as the expected continuation of this stillness. It moves in slowly, gently, wrapping itself around the body, dimming awareness further. The countryside calm has guided you here, through the cooling air, the still curtains, the quiet room, into the final state of release. Now, rest is not something to seek. It is already here, unfolding within you. The final layer of wakefulness melts away. The body has surrendered entirely. The mind has loosened all hold. The room is silent. The air is cool. The night is calm. You rest in this countryside feeling safe and complete, and sleep carries you gently into its depth, lasting through the night, steady, peaceful, and whole.